I'm back with my old friend John Fugelsang, author of the brand new book, Separation of Church and Hate, a sane person's guide to taking back the Bible from fundamentalists, fascists, and flock-fleecing frauds. In the book's introduction, he lays out his aim, quote, "The right has turned a movement based on compassion and love into a mean, self-worshipping, tax-free clique. The intolerance of right-wing Christianity is what's driving young people away from religion. It's time to take the Bible back from the hypocrites." John, great to see you, my friend, first of all.
Sir, thank you.
You have a history in this. This is not foreign to you to write about the Bible and Christianity. You grew up in an environment where that was all around you.
It was, yeah. My mother came from the South, and she entered the convent right out of high school.
Wow.
The convent put her through nursing school, and she went on to work with lepers in Malawi, Africa, as a nurse. But before they sent her to Africa, they stationed her briefly in Brooklyn, New York, at Holy Family Hospital. My father grew up in Brooklyn. He became a Franciscan brother out of high school, wearing the Jedi robes and teaching history to Catholic boys. My father, the brother, met my mother, the sister, I like to say, when he entered the hospital with tuberculosis, fell madly in love with this quiet Southern girl in a nun's habit that he knew he could not have and had promised God he would never want. They became pen pals while she was in Africa for 10 years. He carried a torch. It's a long story, but after 10 years, he convinced her to leave the convent and go on a date. And they married 2 months later and tried to raise us to be progressive, free-thinking, sexually repressed Catholics. And I was raised, like so many, believing that Christianity was about the stuff Jesus in the book talks about: love, forgiveness, acceptance. Matthew 25, he says individuals and nations are going to be judged by how they welcome the poor, welcome the stranger. Take care of the poor, take care of the sick, welcome the stranger, and care for those in prison, against the death penalty. Forgive your enemies, consistently siding with the underdog and the marginalized. And millions of us have grown up in America to see that that mission has been hijacked by this mean collective that fights for stuff they pretend Jesus talked about, like persecuting gay people, driving away Christian refugees at our border. I don't call them illegals. Criminalizing abortion, which the Bible never does. Abortions are legal and free in Israel right now because Jesus' religion never got around to banning them.
Right.
And yet this infrastructure of right-wing Christianity for 2 generations now, 2 generations since Falwell and Reagan hit on the pro-life movement, we've seen 2 generations of Christians raised to vote against the stuff Jesus actually talked about in favor of stuff Jesus never talked about. And I got tired of seeing my parents' faith used as a cover for meanness.
Yeah.
It's a third-rail thing in comedy. It's a scary thing to talk about. But I've met so many people, Ali, who were raised religious and now consider themselves spiritual. They're not turned off to Jesus or God or faith. They're turned off to all the cruelty and hypocrisy. That is why Christianity was 90% of the population in the 90s. Now it's down to about 2/3, and we're below 50% in this country of regular church attendance. It's not because people don't like Noah's Ark. It's because they don't like the meanness.
So all major religions have these factions, these people who claim to do things. Fundamentalist wings, correct. I'm not puzzled about Russell Vogt because he says it. He comes out and says it. I'm kind of puzzled by how Donald Trump gets people to fall for this stuff, other than the fact that he made a Bible.
Oh, no. Donald Trump did what they all do. First off, the fundamentalists, they'll always tell you about the minority that's coming. That's Christian nationalism. That's all authoritarian. Powerless minority going to come get us, whether it's Jews, whether it's trans kids, whether it's black people, women, whatever it is, different decade, different scapegoat. Donald Trump was able to get the right-wing Christians and the evangelicals to go for him, not by promising to do anything Jesus said. Have you ever heard him promise to follow the commandments of Christ and the evangelicals get happy? No. He promised them earthly power. He promised to put them first. He played into the persecution narrative that the fundamentalists of all religions thrive on. Well, you're the overwhelming majority, you control all the institutions, but you're a put-upon minority, and it's time someone stood up for you. That's very seductive to people. Other presidents have always appealed to the better angels of our nature. Donald Trump didn't do that. He said, you're better than them, and I'm going to put you on top. The entire movement of Jesus is about humility, servant leadership. The last will be first. Don't put yourself first. You have to work to uplift the downtrodden and the marginalized communities. He sold them the exact opposite of that and said, you're better. That's this rapture stuff, too. God likes us better. Spiritual people use religion to become better people. Fundamentalists use religion to prove that they're better than you. And fundamentalists of all religions, and you've talked about this beautifully, I find that they have the same 5 traits. They're basically the same, but the more right-wing your religion is, doesn't matter, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, women are always second-class citizens, the more right-wing it gets. Always the sex hang-ups, unless it's for procreation. Always violence is acceptable if it's our side doing it, because God likes us better, and the other side represents Satan. Fundamentalists always have a focus on punishment over healing. And finally, there's always that victimhood narrative, that we get to do what we want because we've been so put upon. So we're allowed to ignore what our holy books say and be cruel because of what was done to us. Right-wing Christians have more in common with right-wing Muslims than they do with moderate Christians. And we got to love these people. We can't hate them back. But in a democracy, we have to beat them. And the great thing is that you don't need to believe in the Bible as literal fact to call these people out. They use it as a prop. They do not fight. Jesus commands us to welcome the stranger on immigration alone. The God of the Hebrew Scriptures commands the Israelites to treat the alien as one of your own. This is hate. I mean, I'm not saying you should just let anybody into the country, but it's the criminalization of migrants, calling them illegals, that shows they don't really follow this holy book they wave around like a prop.